Good evening, Wonders. Welcome to the Wondering Hour with Mom and Dad, a cozy corner of the night where your questions drift in like lanterns, and together we follow wherever they glow.
Before we begin tonight's Wondering Hour, we want to share a little bit about where many of our questions come from. A lot of the conversations you hear on this podcast are inspired by a little activity book that's been a part of our journey for years. 3,000 Questions About Me, published by Piccadilly.
When we first started dating, we picked up this book as a fun way to get to know each other better. We'd sit down together, read a handful of questions, and write our answers inside, always in different pen colors. So years later, we could look back and see where we were, what we thought, and who we were becoming.
As we grew, and as our family grew, something sweet happened. Those questions stopped being just for us. We started thinking about how meaningful it would be to share them with the people we love, our kids, our family, and now you, our wanderers. That's when this podcast really took shape. A way to let these small questions spark bigger conversations, preserved for our children and for anyone who wants to walk this glowing path of curiosity with us.
We genuinely cannot recommend this book enough. If you want to explore it yourself, with a partner, with your children, or with anyone you love, it's such a simple and beautiful way to connect. Or, if you prefer, you can follow along with us as we share the questions and our answers here, one gentle wondering at a time.
And now, let's begin today's Wondering Hour. With our first question, how have you changed over the last 5 years?
This is such a great question to start with because we started dating in 2020. It is now 2025, so our journey has spanned over the last 5 years together. So when 2020 first off was already such a weird year,
Yes.
To reflect back on. And I know the beginning of 2020, I was in my late 20s. I had just gotten out of a serious long-term relationship and ended up moving back home with my family and staying in my aunt and uncle's basement. So I was in a weird place kind of mentally as it was. And then to get back into dating and seeing what else was out there was such a weird concept in general. And then you had reached out to me. I think it's important to know that if we're going all the way back, we had known each other all the way from 2007, where we dated for 2 years at the ages of 12 and 13.
I believe so, yeah.
So a little bit of history there. So when you reached out to me in 2020, nearly 13 years later,
Over a decade.
was a weird scenario for a weird year. So we had just reached out, we just were catching up and kind of talking, and then the pandemic hit. And I think the pandemic kind of hit everyone, changed everyone by itself and in a weird way. But I had spent some time, neither of us were working, and so we just spent a lot of time together and talking and kind of growing together as well. And I think it was by the end of that year, we had found an apartment and we're just kind of living our best little lives together.
I just moved myself in. I don't think I asked you. I just kind of showed up one day and never left.
Yeah, that's exactly how I like to remember it. And so you stayed, and that was awesome. And we were only at that apartment for a year. And then we bought a house the next year. The year after that, we got engaged, or maybe in that same year.
Yeah, somewhere around that time frame, yeah.
And then at the end of that year, we found out we were having our first child. and we got married, and then I graduated from college. I started my first real career job. You had got a new job that year, or well, not that year, but in that time frame. And I just think it was, well, and now we have our second child. And so, I mean, the amount of things that went down in that 5-year span are important to note.
Yes.
As we go on this journey.
Yes, a lot happened to us in the last 5 years. It has been a crazy, fun ride. I would like to echo everything that you had said. I think that it was such like serendipity for us to both be getting out of long-term relationships at the same time, because I also got out of a long-term relationship at the end of 2019. I moved back in with my family. It was just kind of two people, kind of the universe pushing together, it felt like. And I couldn't be more grateful for the universe for doing that. But yeah, it's just been so much growth. So much has changed over the last 5 years, going from single to engaged, to dating, engaged, 1 kid, married, 2 kids. Wild time to be here, and super stoked that I got to do it with you.
So sweet. So I think to think then on how you've changed over the last 5 years, like personally, is such a deep question, because
Yes.
I like to think of myself as a wounded soul in 2020. I was doing a lot of baking and working out and just sitting at home. A lot of Animal Crossing. So much Animal Crossing.
Who wasn't doing Animal Crossing in 2020?
So, I mean, I just, like, I was in an emotional state, and so to really get back out there to reconnect with you was a really like vulnerable place, that I think was very easy for me personally to like shut that down and be like, oof, this isn't probably the right call. So I tried to be really open with that, and I think that was a real pivotal moment for me. I think I really grew as a person because of that in that time, and it opened the doors for so many good things for us moving forward.
Yeah, it felt like we never stopped talking, really. Once we had reconnected, met up in person, and we just kicked it off. It was just, what have you been up to? What have you been up to? We summarized it each in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, the last 10 years were no biggie. Yeah. I wasn't doing much.
And then, we just kicked it off right away. And what a fun time.
Yeah, we've been hanging out every day ever since.
Yeah. Again, nobody I'd rather do it with, because that quarantine could have gotten real bad real quick. It didn't.
It didn't. And my Animal Crossing island thrived. It was a great time. So, not the pandemic itself, the personal things that came with it. But yeah, so that's I think my answer for that.
Yeah.
So our second question then is a little bit of a segue, but what do you consider your greatest achievement?
That is such a hard question to answer, because I feel like my answer, although I was just there on assignment day, would be being a dad. It's been a very wonderful journey so far. They do take it out of you sometimes. They get in their moods, and man, they're hard to be around sometimes, but man, there's so much that they do that makes every ounce of that worth it and more. To have our son and now our daughter, just our complete little unit. I know it's not something that I accomplished, but I feel like that's my greatest achievement.
I think that's a great answer. I think, how can you not say your greatest accomplishment was your kids? I feel very strongly about our kids. I love our kids a lot. I think they're a fun group. So I would like to say, as my disclaimer, overarching parent answer, it is my children. I think there's a lot of other things that we can say, maybe not my greatest achievement, but I mean, I went to school for 10 years. I think that's a fun one to answer. I don't have a master's degree or a doctorate, in case you're wondering. But that was a long journey for me, so that's definitely up there in terms of one of my big accomplishments. However, my favorite personal humble brag that I have been bringing up for every instance of this question since 2009, so I feel like it deserves an honorable mention, is for the state that we live in, we have to take in high school a required test that is I don't know, a judgment of your writing ability. And it's just kind of test and see where you're at and things like that. And it's rated from 1 to 6. And it was a really big deal because no one in our school in many, many years had gotten a perfect score of a 6. However, I did. And I still think I spelled technology wrong. I'm really hung up on that, but so I think that says a lot. Is my fun share for that one. Is it my greatest accomplishment of all time? No, probably not. However, I'm very proud of it.
It's a fun mom trivia fact.
Yes, absolutely. And again, the school thing was cool, but my children were even greater. I love them very much. So,
What is it that you most dislike?
it's such a vague way to ask that question.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Who do you dislike?
Yeah.
What? Who? What?
When?
All the W's. So what is it that you most dislike out of everything, anything, overall in life? I don't like early mornings. I don't like mushrooms. Things like that. I don't like my hair being staticky, but I think if we're really pinpointing it to the most dislike of anything in the world, it's probably people that lie. I think that's such an easy answer, but and maybe it's because I don't have a very good memory. So for me, like, lying is like, ugh, why would you want to remember all this backstory now that you fabricated and have to remember? I see such little gain in lying, and I don't get it. I really appreciate a genuine person, so I mean, I probably won't tell you to your face if your shoes are ugly. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, they're cool. I'll say that. I'm not gonna hurt your feelings, but there's just no reason to go out there and be like, yeah, my uncle is Michael Jordan. Like, you don't think people are gonna find that out? Like, yeah, liars to me are the most thing out of anything. It's what I dislike.
If you listen to this podcast for any length of time, this answer will not surprise you, and this is a theme that will come up with me time and time again. My most disliked thing is disloyalty. Loyalty is such a core aspect to who I am that it's just the opposite of that is so repulsive to me. To not be there when you said you would, or whatever, be there for who you said you would. That's such a hard thing for my mind to grasp, and that will always, always, always be the thing that I most dislike. And that's, again, me kind of to a fault, is just super duper loyal. So again, to be confronted with the opposite of what I am or what I feel I am is just, again, such a repulsive thing to me.
I think that's a great answer, and what a great person you are to have around because of that. The loyalty part. Yeah, sometimes the disloyalty can be, you get over the top about it.
Yeah.
But again, to a fault. But
Yep.
There's many, many pros that come with it. And I can see, because I know you very well, that makes sense for what you dislike the most out of anything. So, My very next question is, if you could live forever, would you?
This question, I feel like, will polarize so many people. And for me, it's a definite no. I think if I could live for a long time and I could turn it off whenever I wanted to, I would definitely do that. But if it was just a Boolean immortal versus mortal, I don't think I would have a good time watching everyone around me pass on. Every 75 years, 100 years, I have to find a whole new group of friends. I'm super introverted. Another thing you'll learn about me if you listen to this podcast for any amount of time. Super introverted, so that sounds like not a fun time. And even if you and I could be immortal, like we were talking about right before we started, it just doesn't feel good to watch everyone else around us age and pass, and then we get a new group and they age and pass, and it would just wear me down. So I think if I could live for a long time, it would be interesting, but forever, no. Hard no for me.
That's fair. And I would also like to say, just overarching, you kind of stole my answer. So it's fine. I assume that, as I like to think we're in a pretty serious relationship, so I think every once in a while our views do line up and we do share the same answers for some of these questions. I think that, yeah, there'd be a lot of cool things about, you know what? No, I don't, I don't think there would be that many cool things. You could learn a lot of skills, and yeah, I like to think that in eternity and in the great beyond and everything, you're just going to be stuck with me forever anyway. But there's no way that I could watch my kids come and go, my friends come and go, places grow and fall and change.
No.
I already get mad when there's missing restaurants where they used to be, and I think that's something that comes with getting older. I can't imagine getting that old and dealing with that. The dollar menu on McDonald's, I'm gonna be talking about that for ages. That's crazy. The pets.
Yeah. Already in a normal lifetime, there's so many pets, especially if you're a pet. We're a huge pet family. We love our pets, and yeah, to see that many pets come and go and come and go, that would be so heart-wrenching.
Yeah, absolutely. So, fun question, fun to think about. No way.
No.
I got one life, one good one. I'm here to do my very best. I'd like to see you in the afterlife.
No.
But no, I have no interest in sticking around long term.
Till death do us part is for quitters.
All right.
Next, if you were to die and come back as a person or a thing, what would it be?
I love this segue because already don't want to live forever. Been established. Got it. So if I were to die, which currently is gonna happen, to come back as a person or a thing, I don't think I want to come back as a person. Been there, done that. Snooze fest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm joking. There were good parts. But I think we already said that we're huge pet people. I think for me, it would be a cat. I want to come back as a cat. Not just any cat, because we have a street cat, and I can't imagine things were super great for him. He likes to sit in like the cold, wet floor of the shower, and I think like after we've showered, and I think that's reminds him of a different time in his life, like after it's rained in the street and he's just sitting out there. Anyway, that's my head story for him. So I think it would be a cat to like a good home specifically. Someone who like buys their pets something every time they go to the store and like has big fluffy bed and like cat trees, like just lounging in the sun and taking naps all day. That is the epitome, I think, for me. If I could come back, that's how I'd want it to be. I don't want to be a dog that's too high energy. They have a lot going on. They're busy. They're doing walks all the time. Uninterested. I want to nap. I want to eat. I want to be showered in treats in a cozy place that I never have to leave with people who really love me.
A lot of that is the same, but I would prefer to be a dog. I think dog specifically, again, to a good home. There's obviously so many horror stories out there of dog owners, but yeah, if I could come back as a dog to a good home, get the naps in, get the runs in, get whatever, what a dream that would be. Yeah, showered in treats, get the big rawhide bones for Christmas time. What a dream, for sure.
Just a little like extra question if they're in there. What kind of dog do you want to be? Are you like a high energy kind of dog or like a...
No, I'd like a Cocker Spaniel type. Something medium sized. Not an ankle biter. Definitely not anything huge. Cocker Spaniel level. Dachshund might be pretty fun. If I didn't care about all the back pain.
That's fair. I would like to say, for the record, we did have a Cocker Spaniel, and best guy, laziest guy. He had the shortest little legs, just gallivant around, happiest dude, just wanted to eat, lived for eating, wanted to snuggle, slept on his back. It was the best.
Yeah. What
So,
a dream.
That's a great answer.
He was a good dog.
Awesome. So, my next question, a little bit of a lighter question for you. What is something that you eat that other people would find gross?
I like this one. I don't really have a gross answer, but it is something that I'm sure a lot of people would not echo.
I'm sure it'll be gross.
There was these off-brand Cheetos at the grocery store.
Already gross.
Off-brand hot Cheetos at the grocery store where my family would get groceries growing up. And every time, I can't remember how it started. I think my brother liked them, and then he had got my parents to buy him one, and then a bag of those off-brand hot Cheetos, and then he accidentally left them out overnight or a day or two or whatever, and I had tried one because he was like, I don't want these, they're stale, so he gave them to me. I had tried one, and they went from crispy to chewy almost.
Chewy was the exact word that I was going to use for that. I can feel it in my teeth.
Yes. And many people, again, are crunchy people. Not a crunchy person. Very much a chewy person. Like a brownie, gummy, all kinds of stuff like that. I'm not like a chip person. I don't bite my suckers. I don't chomp on ice.
That's so funny because second pregnancy, love ice. I'm an ice person now. I think we should get an ice machine. But also any hard candy, Jolly Ranchers, suckers, immediately. I am impatient. I cannot wait. I want to be chomping on it. And man, I'm sure my dentist would not recommend that.
So yeah, they were chewy after they were left out for a day or two. So then every time we'd go back to the grocery store, anytime they had those off-brand hot Cheetos in stock, I would beg my parents to get me a bag. And then I'd get home. The first thing I would do is open them, and then I would just leave them on the counter for 2 days. And every time my parents are like, what are we doing here? And I'm like, trust the process.
You're pre-opening your chips for in the future.
Yeah, trust the process. And every time they would get that perfect, like, chewy, stale. What a dream. That's my thing that I would love to eat that I think other people wouldn't love.
Yuck. You know what? I'm so glad that we've made it 5 years and I have not had to see or experience that.
I don't think they make those hot Cheetos anymore. I've been looking. They don't have them.
Oh, no. Well, I'm okay with that. Thanks, guys. I think my answer, again, I don't think is gross. However, I've had general feedback that it is gross, so you'll have to let me know because I don't think so. The thing is, I love fresh popcorn. All popcorn. However, I am a big fan of movie theater popcorn. I will go to the movies, I will buy popcorn, and then I will turn around and leave immediately. Not there for the movie. It's a good time, but I'm here for popcorn. I think about movie theater popcorn all the time. This can also be regular popcorn, okay? At home, it's also fine, but movie theater popcorn specifically. I also get them with a lot of butter. I think that's an important thing to note for this. Now, I would like to say that I don't think popcorn is gross. Popcorn is the best. But I live for stale popcorn. Just old popcorn. Popcorn that you got a big, large bag and you didn't finish it all. And you're like, oh, I should get rid of that. Popcorn that, like, the grease stains are going to be left behind. I'm going to pick that up later and I'm going to eat it. It is like squishy then, and I am like here for it, probably because of the butter. Previously mentioned, it's soaked in the butter. And I don't think it's as much of a texture thing for me. Again, I've made it very apparent that I like a crunch. I'll bite into anything. But I don't know what it is about that like soggy old popcorn that I'm like, this is it. I love it. And I'm not like buying popcorn to leave it out for this. I like regular popcorn. But if I don't finish it all, I'm coming back and I'm going to finish it later.
Yeah,
love it.
We definitely have popcorn laying around every now and then. Our son loves it. We're not supposed to be giving it to him. We know, but we watch him. We make sure he goes one at a time. He loves it, so we like to have popcorn around. And yeah, that
he is pre-popcorn age, to mention, not just like don't give your kids popcorn.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that we definitely gave him popcorn too soon. He loves a girl dinner. He could just eat popcorn and cheese. He'd be the happiest guy in the world. So much popcorn in our house. So that's the gross one for me. It's the old popcorn, squishy, chewy, if you will.
That's good. Up next, what is something that you begged your parents for that they finally got for you?
All the questions are great. Some are harder than others. I love this question. I think it took my parents a decade. Okay, just as long as I waited for you, I also waited since about 2007. I went to visit my grandma on my dad's side, who lives farther away, and so I don't get to see her very often. But she's a big craft kind of lady. She makes clay and quilts and all the things. She scrapbooks a lot. Her and my aunt both do. I love a scrapbook. So, in association with the scrapbook, and again, this is in like 2007-ish, the Cricut machine was the coolest tool to have with scrapbooking. I mean, and this is before it was like cool and like plug it into your computer and make your own stuff. This was just like the cartridges. So it just like die cut the shapes out, and you had to have the certain ones and the certain fonts and all the bits and pieces and bobs for it. But I wanted one so bad. And to be fair, I was in like the 7th grade. What did I need this for? I was not scrapbooking. I was like junk journaling. So I mean, they're kind of different. And I'm sure my mom was like, this is ridiculous. But I asked year after year after year for a Cricut. I watched many Cricut models change over the years, and I still felt very passionately about the Cricut. And I don't know when it was. Did I have a Cricut? I think I did before the pandemic. So well into adulthood, into my 20s and some, my mom finally was like, you know what, I think maybe you like the Cricut enough for it to be a worthy purchase for you. So it took about a decade and then some, and now I got the cool fancy one that I can hook up to the computer and make all the things, which is also terrible for me because then everything and anything that we do, I'm like, I'll Cricut it. I'll go make it. It's fine. Um, but it gets its use. And that's the biggest person. I begged for so long. Not a single thing that I asked for longer.
That is definitely on the top of her hobby list for sure. Anytime anybody's like, oh, we should make a shirt, she's, yep, we'll make you whatever shirts you need. Just get us the shirts. We got the vinyl, whatever.
It'll be like the day before a birthday party, and I'm like, nope, I have time to make cupcake toppers. I'll do it. Does it need to be layered? I will. I'll layer it.
It's a hassle. It's turned out to be a lot more stress than probably it should be, but we love it.
The results are phenomenal. So, quick shout out to Cricket.
Not a sponsor. Mine, I didn't wait nearly as long. I think I waited minutes, maybe days, maybe weeks. I don't know exactly how long I waited. I was very young, but I do remember very vividly in the video game section of Target begging my mom for Pokemon Yellow. Mm-hmm. I was too young. I was not reading yet.
This was the first Pokemon.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I was not reading yet. And my mom, I was like, I really want this game. It sounds really fun, blah, blah, blah. And she picked up the box or whatever and read the back of the box, and it was reading ability recommended or something like that. And she's like, see, right here, you can't have it yet.
Did it say that on the box, or did she just say that knowing you couldn't read it to double check?
No, the Pokemon games, I think, still say that to this day.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in there.
But so she's like, man, you can't have it. And I'm like, maybe it'll make me read better. Maybe it'll force me to learn how to read. But I was begging her for Pokemon Yellow for so long. I don't know if I got it then or if she just logged it in her brain bank and then got it for me later. But I did get Pokemon Yellow. And that was my first foray into Pokemon, and I'm a big Pokemon head now, so...
Yes. We have so many Pokemon cards miscellaneously around our house. And then, obviously, I have a son now, so he just collects the energies. He's not old enough to play yet. But there's just stacks of them all over the place.
There's just Pokemon stuff. My favorite Pokemon is Gengar. And that I have a hat that's just hanging up on the back of our bathroom door. I have a little Lego Gengar that we have up in our kitchen. There's just so much stuff that is around.
Our son has a Gengar plushie that is sitting upstairs on his potty chair, just like he's using the toilet. So yeah, a lot of Pokemon. A lot of Gengar in our life.
Yeah, but I begged my mom for Pokemon Yellow. And she finally got it for me.
Maybe that soon.
After she tried to tell me that I couldn't have it because I couldn't read. And also, I think that may have been a bad thing, because even now I just mash A through the dialogue, and I just hope I can get to where I'm going in any game that I play.
Yes, which is very frustrating because we play a lot of games together, and I am a reader. There is nothing I love more than reading in a game. I love the mobile game BitLife, and it's just reading. I'm here for the reading, and so for him to just go mash, drives me nuts. Yeah. So I love playing games with you. Yeah, it's a good time.
You can thank my mom for that, for caving in.
I'm gonna text her. Awesome. Okay, so fun segue. Who is your favorite hero of fiction?
This is so even the first time that we had dated, all the way back in 2007, we really bonded over Kingdom Hearts. And
this is true.
That is something that still continues to this day. We're trying to find the time between two kids, two full-time jobs, and pets and everything else that we have to do. Grocery shopping. To catch up on the lore of all the Kingdom Hearts. There's been so many just side games, mobile games that have dropped.
And I know I can all watch it in a single video where everyone fills me in, but I don't want to play, or I don't want to do it like that. I want to play through it. But man, what a commitment.
Yeah. My favorite hero fiction is definitely Sora from that. The embodiment of like light in your heart and friendship, and it speaks to me a lot. And so it's very cool to have had that connection with you over this game that we love, and also for me to feel so closely kind of attached to the main protagonist of this game. He's definitely hands down, and the new fits every game. What a fun ride to take.
That's fair. I love Sora. I think he's just like, again, we found him at such a young age, a formative year, if you will. So like to play through, and he's such just a loyal friend and like doing his best. And it's like I would watch that and read the story, and it's like just that's a person I want to be. So that really stands out to me. I would definitely say that is a hero, both just personally and in the values that he has, but then just also out here doing hero things with, the keyblades and nonsense.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely hear a lot about Kingdom Hearts from the both of us. I have a Paopu fruit tattoo on my arm. I love the story, and it will definitely be a recurring conversation for us. But
for sure.
So I would also like to chalk that up as my same answer. Sora for sure, hands down. I'm sure I could put way more thought into other people, heroes of fiction, if you will, but I think Sora's a great answer. That's a big one for both of us.
Yeah. On to what specific work of art do you admire most?
What a loaded question.
Yeah.
This is kind of like what you most dislike from earlier, like what is art? So I'm gonna throw it on you. Tell me what art is. How do I narrow that down?
Yeah, I think you and I both feel that art has a very broad definition. And that's the definition we're going to apply here and for the remainder of this podcast, is that art can be pretty much anything that you see value in, that you think is beautiful. I think for me, it's gotta be man-made to be like art.
Okay, but it doesn't have to be like my favorite painting in a museum.
No. I would like a picture of a landscape is art, but the landscape itself is just beautiful. I wouldn't consider that art.
That's fair. That's a good qualifier. I like to consider myself as someone who does a lot of art, which is a weird statement. I'm not out here like painting and making masterpieces and things like that. And I would say that most of my art is like little doodles on Procreate. But I like to classify it as art. And I guess, art is music and performance, and what a wide overarching category.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like I could be asked this question probably 17 different times and give 17 different answers. I think that something that stands out to me as a specific work of art that I admire, which I think says a lot about me as a person, is probably, weirdly enough, Steven Universe. Is a Cartoon Network show that I think is fabulous. I think the artwork speaks to me on a personal level. I think I have a very kind of whimsically kind of art style, and so like the colors on the show are beautiful and all the characters are so cute, and I love how it's drawn. I love how they do dance in the show. I love how they brought it to life. I love the scenery. I love the backgrounds. I think for 6 years I had Steven Universe as my background on everything. Um, I also love all of the music in the show. Was top listener worldwide. Not top listener, but in the top percent in the Spotify Wrapped. That was a big year for me. Music, beautiful, genius, love it. And I think the story is awesome. I mean, there's so many art components to this show that speak to me as art. So I think that specific work, just the show overall as a whole, for me, is something I admire the most. Rebecca Sugar, what a star!
I've heard of Steven Universe. I had never watched it before you and I started hanging out again.
I like to push it on anyone that I can. So if you haven't yet, check it out.
Yeah, and I would recommend that as well. It's again, very beautiful show. The colors very striking color-wise. The story is really good. Yeah, definitely walk into it with an open heart and an open mind, and you'll find a reason to love every character. It's such good storytelling. Again, good artwork. Music again, good. I'm not kind of the same vibe musically, but for like a TV show music, I don't think it can be beaten. Maybe has been because that's more my vibe, but it's
not a child-friendly show.
No, don't let your children watch Has
Yeah, if you're under 18, don't watch that yet. So you would also say Steven Universe then for that answer?
No, I would not say Steven Universe for my answer.
I was so excited.
No, I would highly recommend it if you haven't watched it. A very, very good show. My answer to that question is BioShock. Specifically BioShock 1. But the whole series, great. The big thing for me, BioShock 1, I remember on the Xbox 360, my brother downloading the demo before it was even out. The first time that you crash land in that plane and the first time you crash land in that plane, the water looks so realistic, and the fire and all the things. Like, I wasn't used to like bad graphics, but that's definitely the best graphics that we'd had for games up to that point, in my opinion. And the storytelling, the world building behind everything, like, it just made me ask so many questions and want me to dive in so much further. And if that's not art, I don't know what is. Just beautiful, beautiful world. I can't rave enough about it. If you haven't played it,
I haven't, but I love the passion you're bringing to this.
If you haven't played it, and you're of age to play it, highly recommend playing it if you haven't yet. The story has twists and turns, and the twist for sure stayed with me forever. I watched my brother play it. I didn't ever think that I would get into it. I watched my brother play it through probably half a dozen times before I played through it the first time. And yeah, it was such a fun experience to watch him play through it, and it still didn't even compare to me playing through it and hitting that twist and the turns and whatever like that. The first time doing it yourself is just like, wow, so cool.
What an impactful time.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so then, fun little segue from there. In your opinion, I think that's a key part for this question. Who do you consider a visionary?
I am going to stay a lot in the same vein here, and I'm going to go with the creator of BioShock. I don't know who they are. I've not deep dived them enough. But again, that's such an impactful game for me, and still to this day being like quoting it from watching it or playing it in middle school, high school. I just cannot recommend that game enough. Work of art, a visionary to think of cool city. How about bottom of ocean? Just what a fun concept.
I love the ocean. Awesome. Okay. So, I would like to emphasize on the in your opinion. I'm sure we don't share the same opinion, and I'm sure many people don't. And I don't mind. In my opinion, someone I consider a visionary is Taylor Swift. Period. You're going to learn a lot about me over the following episodes, and Taylor Swift is going to be a part of most of them. I will bring up any opportunity to talk about Taylor Swift, and I just think she's out here doing such great things. She's done so many albums in so many different genres over so many years. She has, put her music out there, rebought her masters. Her music videos are just outstanding pieces of art. And just referencing like the life of a showgirl and watching like the fate of Ophelia, the music video to that, and the making of that. If you haven't watched it, also recommend. Just to watch her zone in on every aspect of it, fabulous. I think very highly of that girl, and you don't have to agree with me. It's an opinionated question. I love her. Just love her.
I think that you'd be hard pressed to honestly say that she's not a visionary, given her just prolific rise, especially as of recent with the Eras Tour and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I get it. You can't ignore her at this point. She has become synonymous with music pretty much. So I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who couldn't call her a visionary, no matter what their opinion is of it.
She's out here doing stuff.
Yeah.
She's crushing it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. And now for the last question of the evening. Which talent would you most like to have?
Ending on a soft note. But I think this is such a great question. I think I love people who are good at things. That's a weird statement. There's so many different skills and things, and there are so many talents that I wish that I had. And I think one for me, just in a general overarching fashion, is music. I wish that I could sing. I wish I could play any sort of instrument. Man, did I try. I tried so many instruments. I tried band. I tried choir. I can get by in a musical theater. There's a lot of talent that comes in music. I love watching people play. I love watching people sing. I love watching people do different voices and singing. I'm just really in awe in general by music and songwriting and just all the aspects of it. I wish I had any bit of talent in any musical component, any of them. If I could play the fiddle, that'd be sick. Or a tambourine even. I can't keep a beat at all. That's an area I feel very remiss about. I just love it a lot. I wish that was a talent I could be a part of.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a top answer. I feel like on a Family Feud, we've surveyed 100 people. I feel like music would definitely be up there. And that's a good one. There's so much being able to sing, whatever, that I just
Dance would be good for you.
Yeah.
If you could dance even a little bit.
If I gotta move more than one part of my body at the same time, it's too much for me. Music. For me though, I think that my personal talent that I would like is I would like to just be able to sit down at whatever video game and just be good at it. I don't want to be the best in the world, but if I'm top 51%, I'm better than half of the people that play it, I would feel pretty good about myself. I definitely there are so many, like, especially in my advanced age, like trying to go back to a Call of Duty, it just does not fly in any way. Like, I'm losing gunfights left and right. But I think that would be my talent, is just to pick up a video game and just get over the learning process immediately. I know the controls, I've got that muscle memory down, so I don't need to relearn anything anytime I play a video game. That would be...
I hate the learning process.
Yeah.
So I guess I can relate to that. We've tried to play It Takes Two, which is beautiful. Love it a lot.
Yes.
I struggle to learn the changing controls every time. So if I could sit down and just know that would be a game changer for me. So I'm sure that would be nice to, pick up a game, sit down, get into a game, and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because, nobody likes not being good at something, and to sit down and kind of wrestle with that to start can be a real deterrent for a game.
Especially when I'm coming to you for enjoyment. I'm coming to you for my time of fun, and if I'm not having fun, why am I playing? Which is rich coming from me, but if I'm not having fun, why am I playing you? And those competitive games are just I wish I could remember the quote. I heard it today. I was watching somebody on YouTube, and they're like, when they play Call of Duty games, they feel like a dispenser for dopamine for other people, because they're just so bad. They're just like, here, come take my dopamine.
I'd like you to feel better about how you're playing in this game.
So yeah, they just didn't like playing shooter games. But yeah, that would be, I think, my talent for sure, would be just to be good at video games as soon as I sat down to play it.
I love that. Okay. Awesome answers. All right. Well, since that was our last question, and before we close tonight's Wondering Hour, we do have a tiny request for our fellow Wonderers. If you're listening on Spotify, it would mean the world to us if you tapped that follow button and left a quick rating. It helps our little lantern of a podcast glow a bit brighter and reach more people who might need a soft moment in their week.
And if you want to wander with us beyond the episode, come join us over on TikTok. That's where we share silly moments, the memories, the cut questions that didn't make the podcast, and all the cozy chaos that fills the spaces in between. It's a more playful corner of the Wondering Hour, and we'd love to have you there.
So follow us on Spotify, find us on TikTok, and keep wondering with us, one gentle question at a time.
Thank you for wondering beside us. May your night be soft, your questions light, and your path aglow until we meet again.